Welcome to the channel, everyone. BLN437, and the baseball season is now officially done. Sad to say, because I love watching baseball, and I love baseball a lot, so I don't want to see the season end. But we are at that time where the season ended. We had a lackluster Game 7, considering the fact that Games 2 and 5 were probably one of the best games, or the two of the best games in this series. Game 2 creeps into my top 5 list of World Series games of all times, but it doesn't actually make it. But I will say Game 5 does. Game 5 was a hell of a game played by both teams. Both teams didn't want to give up. They gave it their all. They did what they had to do. And the Houston Astros, it's funny. You don't want to say that a 100+ win team shocked the world, but they did. The Houston Astros shocked, I think, a lot of baseball fans out there by winning this World Series. And the reason why I said that is because I truly believed as well, with a lot of people, that the Dodgers were a complete team and that the Dodgers were going to be able to beat the Astros. Now, I did say that the Astros had a chance. I said when the Astros got into this World Series, I said, listen, anybody who thinks that the Astros can't do anything, they can. They can be dangerous. Now, they didn't end up winning through the formula that I had stated, which was to win games 1, 2, and 5, and 6. They ended up losing game 1, and they ended up losing game 6. But they had enough heart and enough offense to come out and pull this World Series victory and win their first World Series in Houston Astros history. So I want to congratulate all the Houston Astros fans out there. I know you guys must be having a hell of a night tonight. You guys are probably calling out of work tomorrow. You guys are going to be celebrating on the streets whenever the parade is. I'm assuming the parade will be Friday. It's going to be one heck of a parade for the city of Houston. They definitely deserve it after everything that they've gone through with the hurricanes and just all of the crazy stuff that's happened over the past few months. You can only wish, for the best. Now, as for the Dodger fans, look, it's tough. The Dodgers had the complete team, yes, and I'm not gonna make any excuses for the Dodgers. They lost to a better team in a better stage at this moment. They did. Hugh Darvish was not Hugh Darvish. He couldn't go 2 innings again in this start, which I didn't think was gonna happen. I thought he would at least give them 4 to 5 innings. He didn't give them that at all. And you got to credit the bullpen, man. The bullpen kept them in the game, and preferably Kershaw. Now, Kershaw, you still got to blame him a bit for this loss. This loss goes on the Dodgers team as well, but it goes on that start. He had a 4-0 lead in that game 5, and he just didn't get the job done. And we saw it. We legit saw it here tonight. He just didn't have a chance to. He just didn't do it. He didn't do his job. He didn't give his team the chance to close the series out twice in LA. They had to come back and win Game 6 and then win a Game 7. And Game 7s are crazy. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't rely on, Hugh Darvish is Hugh Darvish and he's going to be able to pitch a great game, because anything like that can happen. And I did criticize the Dodgers for using their bullpen a lot last night, but their bullpen did prove me wrong. They kept their team in the game. It's just the offense did nothing offensively. But this is a good learning moment for the Dodgers. You have to hope that the Dodgers look at this as a good learning tool. Now, I guess what's scary is that they still haven't won a title. They're starting to teeter off, they're starting to kind of, I was going to say teeter, but let me use a different word. They're starting to slowly get into that range of being the 90s Braves, where the 90 Braves won a bunch of divisions in a row, but they just couldn't get over the hump. They just couldn't find that one thing to click. I mean, the Dodgers have made it to the postseason, I think, 5 straight years, and I believe the 3 out of the 4 years were first round losses. Then last year was the championship series, and then this year, obviously, the World Series. So, I mean, yeah, there's new pieces on that team. Seager wasn't a part of those teams during the first 3 years. You have Bellinger, who's now in his first postseason. He's got that experience. Guys like Darvish, if Darvish does come back, will definitely be experienced enough, at least in that game. So they got some guys that are not associated with that, but it's just something about this team that they just can't seem to get over this kind of looming task, which is winning a World Series. It's almost like they're the Nationals, where the Nationals just can't seem to get out of the first round. This team just can't seem to find a way with some of the best talent in baseball and win games. I mean, they have a high payroll, obviously, that's well documented. Some people want to say that they're the Yankees now and stuff like that, and one of the things that I dislike about a lot of people that are fans of small market teams or might be fans of different teams like the Giants or whatever, the Royals and stuff like that is they'll say that Yankee fans and Dodger fans and Red Sox fans are some of the worst fans in the world. They really suck and this and this and that. When every fan base has its flaw and every fan base knows that if their team is in the World Series or if their team is in the playoffs or whatever, they're talking trash. They're talking about how their team is good. They're making fun of the opposition. It's just, it's a part of the game. It's a part of this new age of social media that we live in. But what people shouldn't forget is that the person behind that screen that you're berating or you're making fun of, or the fans that you see that are Yankee fans and that are Dodger fans and that are, Red Sox fans or any type of fan, They aren't always necessarily the stereotype of what people believe. So I hope that people, don't go too crazy on Dodger fans tonight. They deserve a lot of credit. Their team did a hell of a job this season. They still have a great team to make it. Like I said, whether they get past that hump or not, I don't know. I look at the National League next year, and obviously they're still the class of the National League. I don't think there's anybody that's really going to give them any competition. I think that if the Cubs can kind of retool that roster a bit, then maybe the Cubs will be able to give them a shot again. But as of right now, the National League is really only got two or three legitimate teams that can probably get to the World Series. The Dodgers are one. The Nationals, if they can finally get their act together, and I mean, and the Cubs, yeah. But then even then, the Cubs, like I said, need to kind of rebalance that roster a bit. As for the Astros, like I said, congratulations to them. They had a great game. Morton came into this game. He pitched well. He pretty much pitched the whole entire game after McCullers and Peacock. So kudos to all of those guys, man. They came out of the pen. They made sure that a lot of their big guys didn't need to be taken out of the pen. Davinsky was also brought into this game. I completely forgot about that. Morrow pitched every game in this World Series, and my God, man, he was great again today. He obviously struggled in that Game 5, and it just sucks. It just sucks for him that he's going to probably get a little bit of a bad rap for that, but he pitched great in that game, and I mean, this World Series was just fun. This World Series was completely fun. Is it the best World Series of all time? This Game 7 needed to really really needed a big moment. It didn't need to do anything. It just needed a big moment. It didn't have that big moment, so I don't want to say it's as good as maybe the 2014 World Series where Alex Gordon, could have been sent for an inside the park home run and we wouldn't have known what had happened. Maybe he would have been out. Maybe he would have been safe. I think he would have been out, but that's a great postseason. That's a great World Series. 1986, 2001, 1975. Those are just great World Series. 1991. 97 is a very underrated one between the Marlins and the Indians. If you look back, both teams traded wins back and forth in that series until Game 7 when the Marlins won, and I believe that was actually after a Cleveland win. So they went back and forth in that series on with winning and losing. So that's a great World Series as well. They scored a bunch of runs in that one too. So overall, this World Series, this Game 7 was lackluster, but a lot of that was due to the fact that the Dodgers just, I don't know. I didn't expect Jock Peterson to have a bad game as he did. I didn't expect Bellinger to not at least get one big hit in this game. Puig had countless at-bats where he just looked frustrated. He was missing pitches that he normally hits well. And Turner was playing with an injury, so maybe that had to do with why he didn't perform well in this World Series, considering that he had performed well all postseason. It was just like I said, the Dodgers offense just was cold. It was cold all night long, and they'll have to work on some things. I think that the Dodgers will be back there. What the Dodgers do need is I think they do need one more top-of-the-line bullpen guy other than Jensen, because you can't have Jensen go out there every night and get you a 6-out save or get you 6 outs in the 8th and 9th. I know you pay him the big bucks to do that, but if they can get a Britton in the offseason via trade, or if they can, add some more depth in that starting rotation, that's probably not a Darvish. I don't really believe that Darvish is the answer after Kershaw. I think they need to get another big guy after Kershaw. That was why Greinke was such a huge piece for that Dodgers team back in their early postseason runs when they were together. But it's just crazy. As for the Astros, like I said, there's nothing you can improve on this team other than the bullpen. The bullpen needs to be improved. They won a championship without a bullpen. People say that you need a bullpen to win a championship. You don't. If you know that you're going into this series and you have one starting pitcher or a couple of starting pitchers that can come out of the bullpen and save you, then you can get the job done. They won with, let's face it, their closer not performing well at all throughout the playoffs. Really, pretty much during the championship series, after the division series, he didn't perform well, and they won with some moments where you questioned whether Davinsky was gonna lose his job, whether they were gonna lose faith in some other guys like Gregerson, who we didn't see. We got to see Liriano. He wasn't pitching pretty much this whole World Series, and those guys came in and they did their jobs. They really did a good job. But kudos again to the Astros, man. The Astros played a great game. This was a great World Series. Like I said, overall, when I look back at this World Series, is this World Series one of the greatest World Series of all time? No, but it's one of the top 5, top 3 World Series of all time for sure. I would definitely put it in there with 75, 86, 2001. So that's just it, man. Nobody gave the Astros a chance. I believe that the Astros did have a shot, even though I went with the Dodgers. I did think that they have a shot. You don't win 100 games by mistake, and they proved everybody wrong. So, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like down below, comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about this baseball season, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and subscribe if you are new.